Well, thanks to the big orange gremlin looking motherfucker, multiple farms in Texas just shut down overnight. Why? Because ICE raids made nearly 100% of the workforce completely vanish. People ran, got detained, or flat out got scared to death and never came back. Dairy farms are in panic mode right now. Cows gotta be milked every 8 hours. And guess what? Nobody's showing up to milk these fuckers, folks. This isn't some Texas problem either. This is happening across the entire nation. ICE isn't just out here enforcing some bullshit laws. They are actively crippling our food systems with fear and chaos. You want to talk about consequences? This ain't just about politics anymore, y'all. It's about what's on your table, what's in your fridge, or what's about to be missing from your fucking store. These Nimrods aren't saving America. They're starving it.
We're here. We are here at the FAFO stage. This is really bad. And if you appreciate my content, please engage with this video. I'm just going to read this to you. Multiple Texas farms shut down after almost 100% of workforce vanishes overnight. In a stunningly swift overnight change, some Texas farm operations had to shut down after losing virtually all of their workforce, an exodus triggered by the increase in immigration raids and increased enforcement. The ripple effects of these raids are the gift that keeps on giving and will be felt nationwide. Unpicked crops are now left unharvested. Livestock were left untended, and rural economies are on edge. The story isn't just a tale of woe for Texas farms. It's a warning for American agribusiness, food prices, and communities that keep food on our plates. I need you to share this with every Republican you know. And you don't even need to wait for their response. They just need to know what's happening. And this is part of my line of work. I deal with commercial farmers, including these small farmers, as clients, and I cannot tell you how this is the beginning of the complete collapse of our economy under this Project 2025 administration that doesn't know what they're doing. You talk about the immediate shuttering of farms, because this is actually what's happening with the food, with the harvests that are lying there completely rotting. That is a loss of food to local food distributors, local grocery stores, local restaurants, hospitals. They sell their harvests, all sorts of vegetables, to businesses within the state of Texas. This is where you can go into your local grocery store, and now you're going to see hardly any vegetables or fruit, depending on what they're growing, or a shortage of meat. This is what's going to happen. Now, all of the other industries that support farming, you've got local pesticide, herbicide, fertilizer suppliers that are just, their sales are going to plummet. These farmers aren't going to be purchasing that. You've got H-2A workers who are now gone, migrant workers who are now gone. They were paying taxes. Even if they didn't have social security numbers, they were given tax numbers, tax ID numbers. So now you got millions of dollars just poof, gone overnight from these Texas communities. You've got trucking companies that are hired to haul the...
Texas farms just lost 100% of their workers overnight. Crops are rotting in the field, livestock is dying, immigration raids are collapsing American agriculture. Americans are about to learn what the actual cost of food really is. And agriculture is the economic foundation for most of these rural Texas towns, so unless these workers are undisappeared immediately, these towns are going to collapse. The cultural reality is the security versus self-direction cultural conflict, and Americans are security obsessed, demanding immediate border controls and mass deportations without considering the consequences. And now they will pay the price, literally in the form of higher food prices. America has got to get back to its foundation of self-directed culture, in which states, localities, and individuals make their own decisions rather than being dictated by the federal government. Because the economic reality is that undocumented workers make up 50 to 70% of U.S. agricultural labor, because Americans won't do farm work, and even if they were willing to, farmers can't pay American wages and stay profitable. And we've seen this before. Operation Wetback in the 1954 saw mass deportations and an agricultural crisis. The Barro Serra program, which ended in 1964, resulted in decades of farm labor shortages. Every immigration crackdown created high food prices because farms had no workers. So what's next? More farms shutting down, ever-increasing food prices, and if Republicans don't reverse this, at a certain point, the U.S. is going to have to import food to feed its own people. Rural Texas voted for Trump. And Texas, you will reap what you sow. Join us for more economic political analysis at culturalperspective.com.
Welcome to Find the Dot. Today we are talking about the collapse of farms in Texas. And one of the biggest reasons behind it is the shortage of farm workers. When there are not enough hands to keep feed alive, the entire food chain feel the pressure. Thanks to the creator and the stitches of this video for sparkling such an important discussion. Grab your coffee, relax, I'll be back for more documentary.
Trump acknowledges immigration policies are affecting farmers and is now considering an executive order to help them stay afloat. Local farmer Nick Billman says this has to happen. He says the ICE raids have caused people not to go to work, leaving farmers without any help. Billman believes the country's food supply could be impacted if this continues.
It's our lifeblood, harvesting, planting, all the moving parts are human beings, more so than the tractors. And legal immigration is great. They're the workforce that really gets things done, and they help out. They play a crucial role. So nobody wanting to even show up for work makes it really hard.
Change is coming. Hardworking Texans feel it. Democrats feel it. And so do Republicans who are desperate to rig the system one more time to hold on to power. We are here today.
Dear God, if you've never listened before, Texas is reporting that numerous farms are shutting down. They have no workforce to bring in the harvest. So what does that mean? We're going to have less food available. What does less food mean? Higher prices for what is available. Even the cattle has been left unattended. Now they're gathering people up to make a workforce. Don't even doubt that for a second that that's what they're working on here. However, there's no people now. Now, as we come into fall and everything is ready to be picked and processed, we are in a massive FO moment for the nation. So if you have not stocked up on basic food items that will help you survive, God help you.
It's Joe from Georgia, so this is news out of Texas. But folks, these are alarm bells ringing for the entire United States, and our government is not listening. Overnight, multiple farms in the state of Texas completely shut down. And the reason for this shutdown was because they have lost almost 100% of their workforce. Now, we know this is the result of the immigration raids and stricter enforcement, but the ripple effect is going to be felt all the way across this country. Now, you've got crops that are rotting in the fields. You have livestock that is not being attended to at all. And that takes a lot of personnel. And we're talking, so now we're getting every area of food to include meat. And the communities that surround these farms, those businesses and those people who depend.
So we're now seeing multiple farm closures in Texas. With all of the discussions that were had about the effects of the deportation on farms and the service industry, we're talking planting season, which is all around March, April. The season where you're taking care of your plants, you're making sure there's no, weeding, bugs eating it, all of the things, birds, rabbits, all of that. So you got to take care of that. And now we're in harvest season, very near harvest season. But there's nothing, no executive order, nothing to remedy this when the remedy should have happened on or around May, latest June. So all of these farms are now closing down because of this, because there's no one to harvest. There was no one taking care of the harvest, the plants, our food, the food we need to eat, our food. There's no one taking care of it. And guess what? That means that we have to import, which means we have to pay more because there are high tariffs. This is beyond insane. So all of the executive orders that have been penned, that could not have been one of them. Because it's very difficult now to reverse this when these farms are closing. I am just sick to my stomach at whoever is doing this math, because I really would like to sit with them and go, where did you go to school? And even if you're very intelligent and you're doing this purposefully, it is the poorest amongst us that's going to suffer the most from this. Because these people don't have to worry about food. They're good. If the plan is to crash the dollar and do all of these things, the poorest amongst us are the ones that's going to suffer the consequences. Now, here's the other point we need to take into consideration here. When you are calling these people lazy and criminals and rapists and all of the things, how the farmers doing without them? How the food doing without them? What's going on in the farm without them? The thing is, you guys like to call us names: lazy, rapists, murderers, all of the things we are. We are the worst of the worst. We being brown, we being black. But when ish needs to get done and we ain't around, what now? This is just one of the many fails that's going to come about. One of the many fails. And a big part of it, it started from the bottom up, but trust me, when it starts going up to all of the 300,000 black women losing their job and all of the people they're taking out of work, that's who we be. When y'all calling us names and saying we're lazy, we this, we that. As bad as this is, and how many people got deported, and how many of us lost our jobs in the interim, this is also showing who we are and what our capacity is and what we actually bring to the table. Including, let's not forget, in consumerism, when we decide we're done with a place. Because we buy, we keep this afloat. So it's heart-wrenching to see at this juncture, all of these farms closing down. Which this is going to make food so expensive. It is already going to make food is already going to be very expensive. All of the farmers that can't export, that now they can't export beef because China's buying beef and pork and stuff like that from Australia. They can't export soybeans, so they're going to have to try to push as much soybean here. And soybean is not something we eat in a large amount. Asian countries use soybean more than we do, and now they're getting their soybean from, where is it, Brazil. If there was a math class, if there was an actual test, this is a great fail. And you know what it is? This is not I told you so, or look how, because this ain't great for none of us. Ain't one of us all happy about this, and because we are all hurting from this. I just shared a video with this guy. This man is walking all around town looking for a particular item that is from China, and all of the stores he's going to, the price is higher. And he gets to the store, and this one store, and this person is explaining to him it is higher because of tariffs, because this is an imported good. And the man says, and I quote, according to the person who posted the video, I should say, because I didn't hear it directly, "Oh, this is you guys trying to sabotage the president because you're supposed to eat the cost." Now, in that sentence alone, the realization that this person has no idea how business work. How long do you think people can eat the cost? How long do you think they're going to let their profit margin deplete? How long? They're going to do one of three things. They're going to close stores down if they have more than one store. They're going to let go of staff. It's called overhead. Or they're going to raise the prices. And they could still do all three of these things. So who's losing? We are. Next time, please do some bloody research, yeah?
The loss of farmers in Texas has become a major issue, one that affects not only farmers but entirely community and the nation's food security. Without a stable workforce, crops are left unharvested, farm close, and rural economy weaken. The long-term effect is clear: fewer local jobs, higher food price, and higher dependence on imports. This is where government action becomes critical. Instead of leaving farmers to carry the burden alone, leaders of state and federal level must create policy that make agricultural work more sustainable. That means addressing visa program for seasonal workers, ensuring fair labor protection, and creating a framework that allows a stable, legal workforce to remain in the field. Invest in training and support for agricultural workers could also provide long-term stability. Programs that connect workers with opportunity while protecting their rights will help farmers operate smoothly and keep food supply secured. At the same time, government can produce incentive for young generation to see agriculture as a fair career path instead of last resort. For everyday people, it is important to understand that collapsing of farms isn't just a local issue, it touches every household. Food security is a nation concern, and government must prioritize policies that will protect it. Ignore farm worker crisis only makes the problem worsen. Once again, credit goes to the creator and stitches of the video for highlighting this present issue. Here at Find the Dots, our role is to spark meaningful conversation, not to take side, but to shine a light to the problem and encourage solution. And when it comes to farming, the government has responsibility to step up because the well-being of our farmer and worker directly impacts us all. Find the Dot family. What do you think government should really do to stop from collapse in Texas and in other parts of the country? It is better labor support, new policy, or something else entirely? Share your thoughts in the comment section because your idea matters a lot. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe as we keep this conversation going together. Thanks.